The difference between a side hustle and a business, because there's a big difference. And it's okay if you start one and go to the other, but a lot of people don't make it over to the other side because the business side require a few things you don't have to do with a side hustle. If this is your first time on this channel is designed for content creators like yourself that want to turn their passion into profit. What we do here is we keep it 100% real with you, and we teach you what you need to know so that you can go in business and make money. It is extremely important that you understand that the information that I am providing you, the experience that I am providing you, comes from a guy who gets 100% of his income through his camera. Why is that important, Ty? Why have you said that twice? It is extremely important that you understand that before you start taking advice from people, because there are a lot of people that you follow who has had this as a side hustle for 8-9 years, and they're trying to give you business advice. And side hustles and businesses are not the same thing. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the differences, or what I call a side hustle compared to a business. A side hustle is usually your ability to generate some sort of income in addition to your day job. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. It's a great place to start, but it's not business. And we're going to talk about why. It's like having a second job. If you had a part-time job at the Gap, it's the equivalent of having a side hustle. It's all about bringing in money and getting extra money, right? Because to have a side hustle is way easier than having a business. A side hustle is like jumping off a boat and you're holding on to the boat and you're swimming. And when you get tired, you can get back in that boat. A business is like treading in the ocean by yourself. You're going to either make it or you're not. You have no plan B. You have no safety vest. It's just you. So for someone who has had a side hustle for 8 years, 9 years, 3 years, 2 years, for them to come on any platform and give you business advice is not good. But if you don't understand the two, you may be doing side hustle stuff, wondering why your business not taking off. And it's just not the same. It's somebody, and no knock on it, it's somebody who has been riding a moped that's telling you how to ride a Harley. It's just two different things. Now, I started as a side hustle with the goal to go into a business. It's not bad. You just have to know the difference. The line on when it becomes a business, just because you got an LLC don't mean you're a business, right? After 2 years, if you don't show a profit, the IRS will make you call it a hobby. They don't even want your money. You ain't doing this for real. How you taking losses 2, 3, 4 years? It's a hobby for you, bro. Get out of here. To build that business, it takes a whole lot more than that side hustle, because now you have to be able to tread. You have to be able to grow in certain areas you don't have to as a side hustle, because your life is not depending on your ability to bring in business. Some bills are. When you move to a business, conversion rates are important. Having a website that works is important. Customer feedback, all of these areas of business that a lot of people skip over and don't want to learn and don't care about, got to be learned. You have to know all of that stuff. Side hustle, you don't. You just word of mouth. I got a friend of a friend who know me. I did it for cheap. That's why a lot of people with side hustles always talk about they're getting lowballed, because they never learn enough business to offer value, to go into a niche, to have a website designed to attract. They never get that far in the business to have the ability to offer value in a way where they can get paid what they feel they are worth. Big difference. They never really learn business enough. They just take the low hanging fruit, $20, $30 here or there. And they think that if they keep doing that, then things will change. The price will just go up. Or if they buy a new camera, that $200 per photo shoot will turn into $4. No, this will take you from a side hustle to a business, nothing else. No piece of gear. If you got a T2i and you feel like you need to go to a C200 to be in business, you're wrong. If you got this little camera, or you got one camera, or you only got a slider and one light, and you feel like, well, as soon as I get my hands on a bigger flash, or more, I'm going to go into business, you're wrong. This is what's going to take you into business. understanding the customer buying process, understanding where you fit in that cycle, understanding how your website appeals to your target audience, even if you even know who that target audience is, understanding that people who want your services, they're looking for something specific, and having the ability to offer that because you know what it's like to work with this target audience, you know what they want, and knowing the value of it to that client helps you go into business, because your business should not only make enough money to pay you full time, you should take what you make at your job right now. You should be able to make that in 1/5 the time and still have money left over in your business to invest back into your business easily. When my side hustle turned into my business, I was working and learning and reading and trying to get more information. But I noticed that with 10 hours a week, FlashFilm Media was paying me more than Dell was paying me, the computer company Dell. In 10 hours, I was making more than I was making working 40 hours over here. So I said, where could I be if I gave my company 40 hours? Would I make 4 times as much as I'm making here? And that's exactly what happened. When I walked away from my job, I didn't have, and I'm just going to be real with you, I didn't have a dumb bank account. I didn't have hundreds of thousands saved. I didn't have $20,000 in the bank. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. What I had was confidence in my ability to consistently close customers. That's what I had. I had a system that worked. I knew for sure that if I put in this amount of hours, I was going to get this amount of clients. And because my rates were what they were, I was going to make this amount of money. Once I had that system in place and I understood business enough to make that determination, I jumped ship. Not going to BS you. Was I scared? Yes. I was scared to death. But what I learned from that was I will always bet on myself. I will never rely on anybody else to put food in my mouth, to provide anything for me. I bet on myself and I won. And the greatest feeling in the world is to know that you can let go of that boat and you can swim from one coast to the other. You can swim across the ocean. The greatest feeling ever is knowing that you don't need this big company to feed you every 2 weeks. Don't let go of your job and your side hustle is not consistent. You're getting 2 jobs a month and they lowballing. Don't let go of your job and you don't have systems and processes in place where you can determine, okay, I was getting a ton of traffic, a ton of business from Thumbtack. I was so good at working Thumbtack that I was able to bring in double my job income just from Thumbtack. So what did I do? I didn't go out and buy nice stuff. I willed it back in. I lowered my bills, increased my income, and I put that money back into my business. I bet on myself. So how did I put that money back into my business? You're probably asking like, well, what did you do? Did you just save everything? Nope. I started reading more books. I started bringing in more mentors. I started bringing in more advisors. I started paying people to look at my website, people who had experience on conversion rates, on what clients are liking and what they don't like. I started paying money for services so I can see what people are looking at on my site. There was an app, I think it's called Hotjar or something like that, where you can literally see mouse movements. I can record a viewer's mouse movement and go back and look at where they're looking at. What phone are they connected to? What are they touching on, tapping? I can literally go back and see what people who are coming to my site, what are they doing? Are they filling out forms and saying, oh, this is too much, I'm out? You'd be surprised at what question they stop at and spend 3 minutes because they don't want to answer it. I started spending money in places to get better at closing sales. That's why when I tell you the importance of a website as your trap, it's not just coming from me, Jack. It's coming from me spending money to learn that I need to invest in my website. I'm not just making this up. I'm not just telling you, well, you got to have a website, the website in 2021. Screw all that. I'm telling you that my clients, by the time they finished my website, they were calling me like, when can you guys come out? We don't care what the price is. We know you aren't the cheap guy. We're okay with that because we see the quality of what you do. When you start to understand who is your target audience and you can create a trap for them, it gets a lot easier. This is why it's important to invest in your brand and invest in your brain. You got to learn about business more, right? And it's important that you learn it from people who have had success in your specific niche. That is why I started FlashFilm Academy. Listen, I went to school for digital cinematography. at a big school out in Florida. They send you a laptop, a camera, all of that. They didn't teach it. No disrespect to them, but they didn't teach the business side of it. You know who taught me? Beta clients. I was so, I don't even want to say desperate to learn how my client think. I was able to barter my services for knowledge. Side hustle guys are telling you to barter your services for footage so you can have a demo reel. That is the worst advice I hear right now, because that devalues your ability to create content. That also tells you that business is not valuable, that pretty pictures will bring people in that door. And I don't want you to be a regular subscriber or watcher of FlashFilm Academy and ever think that. I can set up a website with 100% iPhone footage and close more sales than a person who don't know about business, who has a red or whatever. I'm not getting on side hustles. It's not a bad thing. Like I said, I started as a side hustle and grew it into a business. Not a bad thing. The issue is people get content. It is a comfort zone because you're not relying on this skill set to pay your bills, to make a living, to progress in life. So whatever, it's just whatever. Like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of this, and if I get one or two, it's cool. You don't even document or write down the things that you're doing so that you can look at analytics. It's not even about analytics. It's I'm gonna take however many shots I want, and if I make some, cool. I came here with nothing. A business is going into that game understanding that I need to be efficient because I got stuff to do. Hey, keep in mind that the video you just watched contains clips from a longer lecture that's available to our gold members at FlashFilmAcademy.com. You can go to FlashFilmAcademy.com to watch the complete lectures if you want to get all the gems and all the information, or you can stay on the channel and continue watching some of our content here. Just click one of those boxes somewhere around here. Just, yeah, you know where to go. Right up in here, somewhere, wherever it pops up, you know what to do. You got this.